Morning. Morning, morning. Little bit, glowing ball. Good morning, good morning. I've got to do some bits. Right. I need... Oh, wait, can I actually do that from here? No, I think I need to do it over here. We have a community goal, haven't we? How do I do a community goal? Which I can't remember which button it is. Wait, which button is it? That's manage goals. That's not the right... Nope, it's not that one. Max, good morning. Good morning, Max. Oh, have I not got it here? Community. Nope, apparently I don't do it there. Okay, I gotta do it somewhere else. It's fine, it's fine. I'm trying to find the trying to find where I start a community goal. That is my goal. My goal is to remember where the community goal is. Somewhere. It's somewhere. Community. No, because that's for roles. Reward. No, that's rewards. No, not content. Stream events. Oh no, that's just for the affiliate stuff. How did I start a community goal? How did I do this? How did this work? How did I do this last time? There must have been a way. There must have been a way, because we've done it before. Oh wait, why is my sub goal changed? Wait, no. Oh my god, what's going on? Why is my sub goal changed as well? Right, hang on. What if I go here? You see, I can see it right there. I can see it right there. How do I wanted to start another one of you. If I wanted another one of you, how would I do you? Wait, is it because you're called power-ups? Now, I mean, why would I call that a power-up? I don't know, but is that where I need to be? It is! There we go. Okay, so, obviously, community goals are under power-ups. Obviously, they're under that. I mean, I don't know why I didn't think of that before. Right. Mark, yeah, you... Yeah, okay, so I need to get rid of that one. And then, how long did I set that one for? Was it for 2 weeks? I can't remember if I set that for 2 or 3 weeks when I did it last time. But I did it for 100,000 points. 9 streams. I seem to remember 9 streams being a thing. 9 streams being a thing, which would be about 2 weeks. Right. I remember that. I remember that being a thing. Right, 100,000. Number of days. So it was 15 days. Yeah. 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 Yep, yep, yep. And then... Yeah. Right. Has that started? Has it started? I don't think it's started, has it? I don't think it's started at all. I think it's completely ignoring me. Oh, wait, no, because it's not started yet. That's why. Okay. Start. Start. Community challenge has started. Yes. Right. There we go. Sweet. Working. Why? Why is that under power-ups? What a weird place to put that. Under power-ups. Why? Why? Anyway. Found it, sorted, started. Do you know what? The gnome giveaway. The gnome giveaway. We smashed through the gnome giveaway last week. So much so. Glowing Ball, thank you very much for the first 2,000 points. We smashed through the gnome giveaway so much that we're actually nearly at a second gnome giveaway. I don't know exactly how much it would be though. Wait. Oh no. No, not that either. Buttons. God, if I could press buttons, I would be dangerous. 12. Is that it? Okay. Yeah, I think that's right. Okay, yeah. Anyway, right. I need to do a draw for a gnome giveaway, which I think I will do. When shall I do the draw? Do you know, actually, it's not actually the end of the week, is it? It's sorry, it's not the end of the month. So there might be other people. I tell you what, no, I won't do the gnome draw. We'll start the community goal because then the community goal's just got longer to run. That's fine. But the gnome draw should really be at the end of the month. So yeah, let's do that. Okay. Cool. Max, thank you for the 2,000 points contributed to the goal of joy and happiness, where I play a forfeit game. Okay, so I suppose the next bit I need to work out is what we're doing today. I don't know what we're doing today. I've got no idea. I need that. That's what I need first. Where are we at? We're at the end of August, aren't we? We're at the end of August. It's nearly done. Which means it's September next. Which effectively means it's winter. That's how that works. That means it's winter. I want... What's that about? I would like... hopefully September will be a bit cool here. We've had... do you know what? The weather here for the last week has been quite cool. We've had quite a lot of rain. It's been quite cool. Though apparently it is a prelude to a heat wave. I kind of Trying to follow the weather just seems kind of pointless. I have this conversation with my mother on a regular basis. She's always going, "Oh, what's the weather going to be?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just look out the window." And she goes, "No, no, no. What do the weather people say?" And I often turn around and say, "Why do you care what the weather people are going to say? Because you get really annoyed when they get the weather wrong. So surely it would be easier just to not watch the weatherman and just deal with the weather when it's here." That is my approach to life, and I think that should be everyone's approach to life. This is not the main thing. Oh, do you know what I did want to have a think about, though? This. I'm not happy with that pumpkin. I feel like I've lost. I feel like it feels very flat. Is my issue with the pumpkin right now? It feels very flat, and I would like it. I'd like it not to be flat. Is what I would like it to be. Did I do that on that layer? That was stupid. I put some of the shadow on the wrong layer. So unlike me. I never do that. In fact, so much so I might. That's going to be a pain in the bum to fix. Absolute pain in the bum. But let's do it. Let's do it. So what do we all do with our weekends? Shifty, good morning. Good morning, Shifty. Good morning. How you doing? What do we all do with our weekends? That is not doing what that tool is meant to do. Why is that doing that in weird layers? Why you do this? Why you do this? Do-do-do-do. Glowing Ball, the wife was out of town, so not a damn thing. You had no. What you're telling me is you had no chores. Nice, nice. No chores to do. I ended up watching. I'm still piling through Critical Role Campaign 2. I'm doing quite well. I'm getting through quite a lot of it. I don't know exactly how many episodes I've got left, but I feel like I've made a lot of headway in getting through it. Max, you did absolutely nothing with the weekend. You napped and chilled. Fair dues. As long as that's what you wanted to do, then that's fine. You know, if you napped and chilled while the garage was on fire, then that might not be such a good thing. You know, you napped and chilled while there was no food in the fridge. That's not necessarily a great thing. But if you napped and chilled and it's all good, then cool. Oh, I also played some Homeworld 3. I finally got round to playing some Homeworld 3. I'm gonna make a bit of a mooch through the campaign. I think. I don't necessarily think I'll stream it. But that was nice. Though I don't know why. I don't know. I need to have a look, really. I don't know what the old control, like, I don't know, like, what, say, like, the Homeworld or the Homeworld 2 control system was. I don't know if I like the Homeworld 3 control system. More to do with the camera movement. I just seem to... It seems to not move the camera in a way that my brain obviously wants the camera to move. So I end up with a lot of frustration just kind of going, oh, for God's sake. Just go over here. So that might just be an old man thing. That might just be I've got to that age where I think things should work a different way. I also put a little bit of time into Sins of a Solar Empire 2. I'm not sure what to think about that at the moment. Yeah, that's another one. I think both games I have been waiting for a very long time. Very, very long time I've been waiting for both of those games. And now that they're both here, I'm kind of like... I think part of the problem that might be happening with them is they might be suffering a little bit from the hype that was put behind both of them. Like, the communities who wanted them were super keen for them to show up. And so I don't know if they could ever properly deliver on what people wanted them to be. But that happens with a lot of things, doesn't it, really? Communities are essential for creative enterprises. But there is like a point, and I noticed this with a lot of stuff. There's a point where like the community becomes kind of like its own entity. Because I see it with Critical Role as well. Like, that's another big one where sometimes I don't think it doesn't do what the community wants it to do, but it's doing exactly what it wanted to do. And so you end up seeing a community getting really annoyed. It's weird, that. It is weird. I get when I say weird, I don't mean like, oh, it's so stupid. Like, I kind of get how it happens. But it's just like you see communities like tearing each other apart. I suppose that's probably the thing, isn't it? Like, the community gets so big. The community gets so big that it has a lot of people in it who don't necessarily have all the same viewpoints. It's like a lot of stuff in life, really, isn't it? Like a lot of stuff in life. Shifty, you heard me respond, but you were on a call. How, Shifty, how dare you? How dare you be on a call when I am speaking? You needed to get on that call, and you needed to go, I'm sorry, Bearded is talking right now. There's no time. There's no time for phone calls. Bearded is delivering his morning sermon. I was just saying hello. Hello, how you doing? I was lurking in your stream last night. I was watching you make your format thingy. What are they called? Place card? Do I mean a place card? Do I mean an advertising card? I don't know what I mean. I don't know what I mean by the words I'm trying to say. But yes, I was lurking while you were making that last night. And also lurking in kind of in the background of Sue's stream when she was doing a pink Sue. And the joy you were having of deciding where you were going to raid as well. And in terms of what I was saying about communities kind of getting away from themselves in terms of what they expect people to do and what they don't do, I am guilty of this as well. Like I am not blameless in these types of things. Like sometimes the excitement. I did this with Sins of Solar Empire too. I got reminded that it had been released, and I completely forgot that it was being released on Steam. And do you know what? I think part of the reason why I forgot it was being released on Steam was because it was already on Epic. And so there wasn't a lot of hype about the release because the game was technically already out. So there wasn't a huge amount of hype about the release. And then someone pointed out it had been released, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to go get it. And I should have done more reading before I bought it, because I think I might have actually held off from buying it if I'd read it a bit more.
Come play with us forever and ever and ever.
Hello. Stevie, I thought I did this on Friday. Do you know what, Stevie? I am pretty certain you did. I'm pretty certain you did do that on Friday because you made the usual joke of you've forgotten to cancel again. Twitch obviously doesn't remember that. But yeah, don't forget to cancel. But yeah, I would say I bought the special edition of Sins of a Solar Empire because it has the campaign in it. I mean, getting away from the fact that I think it's a bit shitty that the campaign is not part of the base game. Like that bit does irk me a little bit. It also irks me a little bit that they used AI for a lot of their artwork. Which, you know what, this was the thing that actually got me to... it was these two things, both of those things, were what got me to actually go and read their page. Because I was like, I bought the game going, hey, I want to play the campaign, and I couldn't find the campaign. And I was like, where is the campaign? There's definitely a campaign, because that was why I bought the special edition. And then after a bit of reading, I'd pre-bought the DLC, and the DLC wasn't ready yet. And I was like, oh, man. I just want to play the game. I want to play the campaign. And then reading through all the product description, I then found the bit where they said, for transparency, our game uses AI to generate the artwork. Which I was kind of like... the thing was, at this point, I'd actually played the game. And when I was playing the game, I was like, I'm pretty sure this game's using AI. Which obviously is tricky to get away from nowadays. Because there's going to be a lot of people using AI for a while, I think. But I think I said this last week, but on the plus side, if I can give them any kind of plus, at least they admit that they do it. Like they have it on their Steam page. There's other games that I think use AI and like don't tell you. Probably because they know it's quite a hot topic. But having no campaign is a shame. Yeah, having the campaign is kind of the bit that I was really looking forward to with Sins, because the skirmish mode is very similar to Sins of a Solar Empire 1. So I kind of feel like I've more got a modded version of the game, modded version of the original game than a new game, which is a shame. I don't really have games that you have to play. You don't really have games you have to play in your Steam library. You managed to restrain yourself nicely during the past Steam sales. How do you do this witchcraft, Max? It's a requirement. It's a requirement, Max. You must sacrifice to the Steam gods. Otherwise you will feel their wrath. Stevie, with the price increase, you're looking at your subs. That's fine. Stevie, 100%. Yeah, I used to have. I've. Price increases definitely make you go through your subs. I get that. They add up. They add up too easily. Depending how many something you might want to look at, Stevie, if you are looking at subs and how many you've got. If you feel like you've got quite a lot and you obviously can't justify having them all, because they add up so quickly. They add up way too quickly when you got multiple subs, especially when they decide to increase them by £1. All of a sudden, they increase it by £1, and you're like, oh, I've got it's like I've just bought 2 extra subs. If you're looking at that kind of stuff, you should take a look at Turbo. I have some subs and I have Turbo, but I looked more at Turbo after the last price increase. Unless, of course, you are subscribed to people for their emotes, and then if you subscribe to them for their emotes, then it's never going to work. But if you're just about supporting, that's I recommend that. Turbo's the one which gets rid of ads, but the streamer gets paid as though you watched all of the ads. So in essence, you actually end up supporting a streamer more than if you watched all the ads. Sorry, more than if you watched ads regularly, because we don't all see ads, do we, when they happen? But Turbo classes it as like you watched all of them. But anyway, long and short, 100% get it. 100% get it if you with the price increases. I saw a thing. Do you know? I saw a thing last week. I saw a thing last week about subscribing through your phone and how much more it costs to subscribe through your phone. Really thought if you got Turbo, nothing went to the streamer. No. Turbo's really good for streamers. Revenue's good with Turbo because it counts that person as having watched all the adverts that you've potentially got factored in. The only downside to Turbo is that you don't get the emotes. So that really comes down to how much you care about the emotes. And one thing as well with Turbo, which still seems to be up in the air, so I don't know if this is accurate or not. But there is a belief, and the belief goes more towards this being accurate rather than inaccurate. If you have Turbo, and if you are subscribed to a channel, they stack. I don't know that for 100%, and Twitch hasn't confirmed that 100% either. But that there is some people believe that to be the case. It's the only. I feel like I'm covering myself in a court of law. But yeah, I say, like, on the last price increase, I did it on the last price increase. I was just kind of like, I've got to cut back on how many subscriptions I've got out there. And so I got Turbo. But yeah, Turbo's the amount of revenue I get from Turbo. I don't know if it certainly I think it was last month, was actually higher than what I got from ads. So yeah, Turbo's a goodie. I think I need... Do you know what? This shadow needs pulling back. This shadow needs pulling back. I think that's part of why this is looking really flat. Oh, I just put a bunch of lines on the wrong layer. Did it again. I did it again, guys. I put these lines on the wrong layer. What a moomin'. What a moomin'. It's fine. One day I will do this right. So now that we're on the right screen, Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, sins of a Solar Empire. So yeah, unfortunately I really wanted Sins of a Solar Empire because I was interested in the campaign. I was interested because obviously like Sins 1, like all you really knew about the storyline was kind of like what was in the intro. Like there wasn't a lot of stuff that happened in the actual game that told you about the story. And so I was kind of looking forward. I was looking forward to there being a campaign and learning more about the Sins of a Solar Empire universe. And so I probably would have held off buying that if I'd read it properly and realised that the campaign wasn't available yet. I'll still get my time out of it. Like that bit's not an issue. Like I'll get my time out of it. Just I could have saved myself a little bit of money for a little bit longer. And then Homeworld 3. Homeworld 3, I just needed to have a moment where I wanted to play it. Unfortunately, that was this weekend. So I played a little bit of that this weekend. I've got very little. When I say I played a little bit of it, I think I played like 2 hours. So I'm in like mission. I think I've just got to the beginning of mission 3. I think with Homeworld 3. So I know nothing. I've seen people have not been very happy with Homeworld 3. I've tried to avoid that stuff though. I'd rather, like when you see like headlines and stuff, I've tried to avoid that because I'd rather play the game and then afterwards maybe see if I agree with people or not. Right, okay, so I think I need to pull this shadow back a lot to try and get this back on track. So I think I'm actually going to pull it back to probably about there, like really severe. Although I realise I've just... So that bit that's underneath will stay regardless. But let's get rid of all that bit. And then actually we'll probably bring this one back as well. Ooh, Yana, good morning. Good morning, Yana. Boreas, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Getting ready for pumpkin season. Ideally, because I've been trying to make these for about 2 years. I think this is the year. This is the year that these get finished. We'll see if that actually happens. So that's... Oh yeah, that line. That line should be far more... I'd like to bring it out more, but I think I've just drawn it wrong. I'm going to try and do this in a way that hopefully no one will notice. Except obviously for you guys, because you can see me doing it. But when it's zoomed out, hopefully no one will notice. Don't tell anyone. I need to change the angle of that a bit, I think. Okay. Might leave it like that, actually. Might leave it like that. Boo-boo. Typing out the Reddit expose. Down. Like that. Oh, I didn't mean to get rid of that much. Just the line. I don't know how I feel about that line being on that tooth. I did not plan this out. In fact, unless I shift it. Hang on. What if I shifted it? What if I got rid of all of this? Oops, not that bit though. Not that bit. Yeah. Okay. So it's not that I don't want that line there at all. I'm just thinking I might be able to adjust it so it fits a bit better with this tooth. Because that's kind of coming down. I might be able to bring it along the side of this tooth. I still need it to have a little bit of a curve in it. But then it'll come down like there. Kind of a little bit. Okay. Plan for today's stream is to wrap up at 12. So shorty stream, pretty standard for a Monday. But I've got to get some work done this afternoon. So yeah, standard stream time today for a Monday. And then tomorrow, might try and do an extended one tomorrow. Don't know how much I'll extend it by, but might try and do an extended one tomorrow. Actually, wait, that line. Is that line kind of coming up? Do you know what? Actually, I need to bring it a bit more this way. Helps if I don't use the delete tool when I do that. More there. I think what else did I do this weekend? Actually, you know, I did thinking about it. I didn't actually do, in terms of gaming, didn't do a lot of gaming because it was my mother's birthday on Saturday, so we had family over. Then we got a load of fish and chips for dinner. Yes, yes, a load of fish and chips. So that was great. Make that more severe. If I make that line more severe, that might try and make it. For anyone who wasn't here right at the beginning, I'm trying to make this pumpkin look more rounded. And I think part of the problem I've got is how much shadow I've done. So I'm trying to cut back the shadow in an effort to make this guy look a bit more round. It was looking a bit flat. Might do some highlights on it as well. I'll do some highlights. Yeah, I might do some highlights just to try and bring it out a bit more. happy with that centre line. Might make that centre line even thinner. Might do that. Give me a sec. I've just realised I have no water here, so I'm just going to have to. I'm going to go grab some water. Give me a few moments. That should not have taken as long as it did. I couldn't find my water bottle. I was looking here, and it wasn't here. I was like, oh, I must have taken it down this morning, got distracted, and left it somewhere downstairs. And then I went downstairs, and then I couldn't find it downstairs. And I was like, well, it definitely wasn't upstairs, because I've just been there. And then eventually I came back upstairs, and I've also just realised to put my headphones on. This... There we go. That's why I can't hear any music, isn't it? Because I put the wrong headphones on. And then I came back upstairs, and it was here. It was here, just over by my bed. Good job, me. Good job, me. Sometimes I do wonder whether I need to remind myself to breathe. Maybe that should be a thing. Anyway, hi. I want to make this line a lot thinner. To the degree I'm almost tempted to get rid of that bit that's here. Yeah, I'll definitely put some highlights on this. I think highlights will help this a lot. Giving it shape. Do 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 do. I think if there's anything I forgot from Friday. I've started the community goal. We'll do the gnome giveaway at the end of the month. That was the only bits, wasn't it? That was the only bits I needed to do, I think. I need to sort out a game vote? I think I might need to sort out a game vote. Maybe, I think. I'm not sure what's going to be on the game vote. Make this look rounder. This entire thing should be highlighted, shouldn't it? Does this make this look rounder? I realise it's rough. I can tidy it up after. I think this is too much though. Yeah, it's too much. I should have. I think the problem I have in terms of why this isn't looking right is it's because the outer, I don't know what you call the different segments. I'm going to call them segments. Whether they've got another name or not. I think it's because I think the problem I've got is the outer segments are too big. So that's why it's looking flat. I don't think anything I'm going to do, and I think the only thing I could possibly do is I probably should add some segments on the back. I should add some segments on the back. And I should probably add another segment here, which could follow that mouth edge. And it needs to be bigger. And then that segment which was coming out, if I brought that segment out there, this segment, yeah, I might need to redraw this. I think I was trying to fix it with shading and I don't think it's going to work. Right, the face. I'm happy with the face. The face is fine. I think I was fighting against the outline I'd done. So we need to make that one smaller by doing that. I have to adjust the face. Might have to adjust the face slightly. But I think that would make more sense than what I've got there at the moment. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if I want to tackle that right now, though. Redoing all that line work. Redoing all that line work right now is not appealing to me. This death cap mushroom, I was thinking, like, obviously it's a bit, because like a lot of the stuff, I generally want there to be reasons why things are where they are in the universe, not just not just which is part rather than things being like, oh, this is in here because it's cool or because it's fantasy. I want to try and have reasons why things exist. So obviously I've been doing this. This death cap mushroom has a very distinctive shape. But I was thinking maybe a bit like how I've kind of said the rats. So the ratkin exist because they ate dwarf flesh, and so the mana that was in the dwarf flesh has kind of altered the ratkin bodies. I was thinking this death cap mushroom might be a similar thing. Like maybe this mushroom, because it's grown on the corpse. Like we have. Well, I wonder if I could bring them together somehow, because we have corpse mushrooms, which we've shown elsewhere. Although I don't know if I did actually call them corpse mushrooms, which grew on corpses, and then by their nature they killed things near them, which gave the spores something new to land on. Maybe this is some kind of like a mutation of them. But I'm thinking that this thing is going to have a skull shape because it's grown on. Basically, the mana has altered it. I'm not necessarily making this a sentient mushroom. That might come later. Because I know there is a, I can't remember what they're called, but there is a sentient mushroom. There have been sentient mushrooms in fantasy settings. But yeah, I'm thinking about making this the reason why it's got a skull shape, because maybe the mana has altered it in such a way that's why it's got this, that's how the skull shape has happened, by the mana getting to it. Which doesn't necessarily trash trash the other ones. I'm gonna have to load them up. What did I call them? What did I call the other ones? Was it corpse? Corpse shrooms. So we had corpse shrooms, which this was poisonous, which yeah. So maybe something to do with one of these. Or this just doesn't need to exist in the universe at all. Maybe this could just be one of those situations where I go, this doesn't exist in the universe at all. I just wanted to draw this because I thought it would look cool. But as I say, I kind of like, I don't really want things to be in the universe unless I can essentially give it an origin that I'm happy with. Maybe a sorcerer. Maybe a sorcerer was experimenting. So like because that would also lead to a chaotic amount of magic. Uncontrolled. Maybe there was a sorcerer who was experimenting with whether magic near death produced more powerful magic. Wait, no. What? Maybe a sorcerer who was trying to be a lich. And then so was messing around with a lot of mana near the point of death, and so he was thinking about death. Maybe I might be able to figure something out. Quite a rare mushroom, anyway. Glowing board, gnomish nightmare, sentient mushrooms. I mean, yeah. I wonder what would I... Hang on. Now, this is not guaranteed. This is not guaranteed, but what if I was to do a sentient mushroom? If I was a sentient mushroom... if I was a sentient mushroom, what would I look like? Helen, good morning, good morning, good morning. Glowbot, there's a spore god in D&D. It's just an uber powerful hive mind. Oh, okay. I see. So if I was doing a mushroom, like, I appreciate there's like I could do a really cartoony, type mushroom with eyes and give it arms and legs. But I feel like I do... Oh god, I'm going down a horror route again. Could I maintain... I'm trying to think of how could I maintain the mushrooms kind of like look, while somehow making it. What can I do? I've kind of, I'm supposed to agree, I've kind of already gone down the route, haven't I, with the one that kind of generates a poison. The one that secretes a really sweet poison is already kind of a mushroom that's... Do, 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 do. But yeah, I suppose, yeah, kind of like that. If the spores... If the spore... It's almost going down a Last of Us route, that, isn't it? Is what that... I realise, yeah, I appreciate the one in D&D is probably older, but it makes me think of like the... makes me think of the thing in The Last of Us, kind of the spores taking over the body. So like if you had like a giant mushroom... If I wasn't going to make it... If I'm not going to make them humanoid... If I'm not making them humanoid, I kind of have to make them... I have to give them some way of movement, don't I? Ooh. What if... What if they're not... Maybe I don't make them sentient. Maybe I don't make them sentient, but maybe I give them a way of moving. Almost like jellyfish. What if... What I'm drawing now is not the one I'm thinking of. What I'm talking about is not what I'm drawing. I realise this doesn't look anything like a jellyfish. What if there was a mushroom? What if there was a mushroom that wasn't like attached? Like wasn't on like what if their method of movement was like the top, you know, the cup at the top of a mushroom? What if that... What if there was a mushroom that this was filled with maybe like some kind of like decomposing gas, and it was able to kind of like float. It could float through the caves, and so it was just taken. It was taken wherever the... It was taken wherever the cave currents, if you will, the cave air currents went. This mushroom ended up going. The cave currents meant that the mushroom ended up going wherever it went. And maybe that's how I could have them moving. You could have like whole reams of them. But anyway, this... I'm kind of thinking... Right now I'm just thinking of this one that releases spores as a hive mind. I feel imagine it being like absolutely giant. Mushroom King. I'm just kind of got this. I'm just got this guy here for scale, really. Alan, you could not sleep last night, so consequently you overslept. Oh no. Oh dear. Well, hopefully you get a better sleep tonight then. Don't just zonk out in the middle of the afternoon. Just often zonk out in the middle of the afternoon, but that's not due to oversleep, lack of sleep. That's just, I think that's just me turning into an old man. Yeah, giant mushrooms. Giant mushrooms could be a thing. But what I was thinking of was like this. So if you had... Not specific to this mushroom that's here. If you had a mushroom and then this bit here, this bit here, like this is a cross section. We're doing this as a cross section right now. It's like that would be like the leathery, that would be the leathery skin on top. That would come around here. And then this area here, potentially filled with gas. This area is filled with gas, and then so there's the, and then out the bottom. I don't quite, the problem is I'm trying to think of how this would be or how this would originate, but it would essentially, it would be a jellyfish, some kind of like a fungus jellyfish. That would float through caverns, through cave systems. maybe... You know how kind of like jellyfish are... Like maybe the skin of this thing could be paralyzing. Make the skin of it paralyzing. Then when it's if it eats too much, consumes too much, I'm not quite sure how what it's gonna maybe it just feeds, maybe it feeds on dead things, maybe it just feeds on just whatever it finds, I guess. And if it consumes too much, like it has no concept. It has no concept of like what it's consuming. It just, if there's stuff in reach of the tendrils, it just consumes it. And if it consumes too much gas is produced and it explodes. It explodes, but that's not necessarily a bad thing because that just means it spreads the spores. I'm gonna have a mushroom day. Having a mushroom day now. I'm thinking of different types of mushrooms. If I wanted to make mushrooms kind of a bigger, because at the moment we've kind of had mushrooms that are, you know, mushrooms that we farm. Right now I've got mushrooms going on the offensive. And maybe one of the bits that makes these quite dangerous is, you know, when when you see like big schools of jellyfish, like a lone jellyfish I don't think is, you know, unless you're really stupid and go over to poke it, a lone jellyfish is not really too dangerous to us, is it? But if you found yourself in a school of jellyfish, that might be a bit more risky because it'd be easier for them to potentially sting you. Well, maybe that's the same with cave shroom, cave jelly shrooms. Jelly shrooms is, I haven't got a better name right now. I don't have a better name right now, so right now we've got a jelly shroom. This can just be King Shroom. Don't know what we're doing with King Shroom yet. No idea what King Shroom's about, but just so it's got a name. Max is eating shrooms. And having an interesting time after eating shrooms. And Glowing Boy, you find all mushrooms offensive, so you get it. I mean, it's not about it's. I don't know where I'm going with this. How did we start? Who started this? Who started this? Hey, I blame someone. I'll blame someone who's not here because then they can't defend themselves. I'll blame Boreas. I'll blame Boreas because he's been quiet. He's been quiet, but he's been here. So there's evidence that he was here, and then I can just say it was his fault. Turn off your monitor and look into it. There's your man. I refuse. I refuse. It's obvious. How dare you? How dare you imply that I'm the person who comes up with these things? Sends me down these weird paths. I wonder how it consumes. If I was to do that, how would it consume? How did this happen? How did this happen? I don't know what's in these sections. There's got to be something in these sections. I just don't know. I just don't know what. Unless those are the bits. Maybe those, maybe these are the bits with the gas rather than this bit. Maybe that would make more sense if those bits. If these bits had the gas. That is a terrible G. Such a bad G. That's a terrible G as well. Wow, it turns out I cannot write G's on their side. Can we just... There we go. So if those bits were the gas, then this could be... This could be whatever the body that consumes whatever the tendrils pull up. think that might be the way I go with it. And then just, as I say, I would imagine like a single one on its own, you wouldn't really think much of. But you know, if it I'll put it I'll put it as floating schools. Which would fit with the when they get too big and they explode. Let's just hang on. In fact, so gimme King Shroom. Don't know what we're doing with King Shroom yet. Don't know if we're doing anything with King Shroom yet. Don't know if we're doing anything with King Shroom, but let's have a bit more room for Jelly Shroom. Jelly Shroom. When they've when they consume too much, when they consume too much, they rupture. Because this could end up being a problem. This could be a problem if like say if you fought one and killed one, you would end up kind of like progressing the cycle, because you would inadvertently be spreading the spores of these things as well. When they consume too much, they rupture. And then the spore spreading the spore. So if we had like a just like a little rock face, maybe when they're little, they're actually attached. You know, they're little tentacles. It's only when they get to a certain size and mature that there's enough gas. There's enough gas in these like gill. Well, on a regular mushroom, these would be gills, wouldn't they? So they'd be bladders. Like the gills have developed into bladders, but until then, maybe they just attach themselves. They grow on the rocks, and then when they get big enough, that's when they kind of detach and go drifting wherever. And because they've all grown, because all these spores will have been laid down at a similar time, they'll probably all, that's when you get a school of them. Probably require quite humid, I would imagine. I imagine they require quite humid conditions because they need to be leaching, certainly when they're attached to the ground. When they're attached to the ground, they need to be able to leach the nutrients that they need out of the air. Until they're big enough. Until they're big enough to detach and flow, drift on the cave air currents. Yeah, maybe they feed on. Maybe they feed on. Probably more likely. I'd say it's more likely they feed on dead things. Because I feel like living things would have. Like, these things don't move fast. Because they don't have their own method of movement, really. They're just, unless there was a particularly strong current. I'd imagine they'd probably, like, if the tendrils underneath them sense. It's like these ones when they're little babbies. When they're little babbies, they're just pretty much getting what they can out of the air to grow from. But when they're mature, this was not what I was planning on doing today. But here we are. Here we are. I suppose if the spores land on the dead, that would be even better. wondering whether it'd actually be able to lift some stuff up. Obviously the gas that's in it allows it to float. That would be quite an additional bit of weight, wouldn't it, really? If it was to... it'd probably... Yeah, thinking about it, that wouldn't really work. That wouldn't really work. You're nearly a litre of water in. Oh my god, you're doing way better than I am. I will indeed hydrate. I will indeed hydrate. I am about... I don't know, how big was that? Probably 200 mil. So 0.2 of a litre. I'm probably about 0.2 of a litre in so far. I kind of have the idea of it like wrapping round. Yeah, it wouldn't... I don't think this will be able to lift stuff up. As kind of creepy as that might look, I don't think that would work, because this is only being held aloft by the gas. I think what would end up happening was if it was able to wrap its tendrils. Maybe it doesn't wrap its tendrils around this with the purpose of lifting it up, but more just kind of anchoring itself in place, or maybe even lowering itself. That could work as a slightly terrifying thing, couldn't it? It's wrapped around it, and then it's just pulling itself down to consume. To consume whatever this thing is. I would also suspect... I'd suspect that these things don't smell great. Because they're basically feeding on dead things, and importantly not getting rid of the gas. Like, they're not... the gas is staying with them. And I imagine they don't smell great. Yeah, yeah. I think it would. I think the tendrils, it would pull itself closer to whatever it. So like the tendrils would probably drag along the ground. The tendrils sensing what's on the ground, and then if the tendrils sense something on the ground that's, you know, maybe the tendrils a bit, like a little bit like an octopus's legs. Octopus's legs can taste the suckers. The suckers can taste. Maybe that's kind of what's happening with the tendrils on this thing, is they can taste what's on the ground, and if it finds something that's dead, the tendrils will wrap around to anchor it so that it's no longer being drifted by the cave currents. And then the tendrils, it can pull itself down with the tendrils, and then it can consume whatever the thing is. And once it's consumed, it just releases its tendrils, floats back up because the gas brings it back up, lets it float higher, and then it just carries on. None of this really in a super sentient way. Like, I'm not anticipating these things being very sentient. I anticipate them being like a jellyfish. Like, they're just, everything is just pure, like, nature of just, it's just happening. Not the, this thing's not like, it doesn't like sense someone who killed its grand shroom. It doesn't sense someone like that. It just, they're just there. They're just there. And if there's a lot of them, it can become a problem. It can become a problem. I don't know what we're doing with the king shroom. The king shroom is just massive. The king shroom is just a massive, massive mushroom. Maybe the king shroom, I don't know. I'll have a think about the king shroom. But before I do that, I will just be back in a second. Yeah, and when they're little baby shrooms, maybe they anchor themselves to rock. Maybe the environment. Maybe the environment that they need is was saying it was humid, but it might need to be a bit more than humid. Maybe there needs to be... Probably needs there probably needs to be flowing... There probably needs to be flowing water, which they then anchor in, and that's how they get their initial. That's how they get their initial nutrients, and that would also help with terms of them being clustered together. Maybe. Quite a wet environment. I don't really know how to represent this in a sketch. Not even. Do you know? Not even a humid. It needs to be a damp environment, doesn't it? Not just humid. It needs to be damp. Need a damp environment. Provide initial nutrients. Oh shit, I just remembered. Oh no. Okay, let's hope I'm not delving into some kind of hell. No, good. Okay. I forgot to turn off YouTube chat. Got to do that. There we go. I appreciate there's not loads of the stream left. There's not loads of the stream left, but sod's law, they turned up in the last 5 minutes to be douche canoes. Sorted. Once mature, float on cave air currents. Tendrils. Tendrils touching floor. It doesn't have to be like living thing. It doesn't have to be like rats. I'm sure, you know, if they sensed other mushrooms, you know, if they sensed other mushrooms, they would latch onto those and eat them. They'll consume anything. There you go. There's a new thing. There's a new thing to exist in the world. There's a new thing to exist in the world. That's what we've achieved. That's what we've achieved today. That's what we've achieved. I don't know what King Shroom is meant to be. King Shroom might just be, because at some point, I mean, I did talk about like them using like really large mushroom, because we got like the Christmas tree mushroom, haven't we? That they use as a form of lumber. The King Shroom doesn't have to be evil. Although I'm going to show it dropping spore. I'm going to show it dropping spores. But it doesn't have to be evil. Just to give it a bit more this on its size. So the strands are called hyphae? Hyphae? Or is that how you pronounce that? Hypha, long branching. Oh, they are actually. Oh wait. They are actually part of mycelium. So this isn't insane. This isn't entirely insane. They actually good job, Gloinball. Good job. They are actually. That's what the tendrils of fungus are called. Oh, do you know when I started reading that, I thought you just found like what the ones on a jellyfish were called. So it is what they're called on a mushroom. Interesting. Do you know, I never think about them. Obviously, when you buy mushrooms, you don't see them, do you? I never really think much about them. So it is just okay. Yeah. Wait, what? Hold on. What's that? That's... Yeah, okay, so there's the spores. Yeah. And then the mycelium. Okay. I'll tell you what, we'll note that down. We'll note it. Maybe these we'll go down that route with it. Oh, how weird is that? Just this particular image. This particular image that just did like the Google searches. I did, like how like when you see that, you're almost kind of there going, oh my god, it almost looks like a skeletal hand. Almost looks like a skeletal hand when you see it it like that. One of us. One of us. They're just us. Oh my god, why is there a diagram? Why is there a diagram showing me breathing in the spores? What is the purpose? What is the purpose of this diagram? Do I really want to understand the purpose of this diagram? It's showing the breathing in of spores. I'm not happy. Not happy. We're getting to look. I don't like how possible The Last of Us is at the best of times, let alone showing me diagrams. And that wasn't even The Last of Us. That was just, oh, look at these spores, how they get in the system and into your blood supply. Nothing to do with The Last of Us. That was just a little bit of a sciencey thing. That was just a sciencey thing that came up in the search results. What's really terrifying is that when the Hypha touch something nutritious, they infiltrate it, consuming it by growing inside. So, Jill, I was not, without having Googled these things, I was going kind of down a good route then, wasn't I? I was going down a pretty good route for these things, considering that I hadn't Googled it yet. My brain is the internet. I don't want to say I'm a genius. I'm not saying I'm a genius, but sometimes my brain makes sense. Sometimes, rarely is how I should probably label that. My brain rarely makes sense. But that's basically what I was doing with these tendrils. Like, they sent stuff and then they wrapped around them and anchored to it. And then it's a little bit like the blood tree as well, isn't it? Like, I did that with the blood tree. I realised the blood tree was a tree and not a mushroom. But I'm sure plants do similar things, don't they? Inhale the spores. Yeah, we're not going too far down the route of inhaling the spores. Unless that's what the king shroom does. We might need to put the king shroom on a new page. King shroom. Maybe the king shroom and the blood tree are related. No. No, the blood tree. Oh, how much do I tell you? How much do I tell you about the origins of the blood tree? Are you ready? Is your body prepared? Let's grab king shroom. Let's grab king shroom. Oh, that wasn't. It's just. I thought that was the selection tool. It wasn't the selection tool. It was just a pencil. I meant to do this. I was trying to do this, and then I've just done this wrong. I was trying to do this, and I just had the pencil selected. Oh dear. Right. Give me that. Good job. Good job. Okay. So if we decide to flesh out the jelly shroom, we've got a bit more room. But that's interesting how it yeah, okay. Okay, so king shroom. This does not guarantee these things go in, because we might just play with an idea and see where it goes. But if you, okay, based on what I just saw on the internet, if you basically I think what I'm about to suggest means that this guy's dead. I think what I'm about to suggest means that this guy is dead. Sorry, mate, but you're required for description purposes. I kind of hate doing these kind of things because I kind of want things like I'd love to say that so much of this stuff would be original, but it's difficult when there's so much media. It's difficult to be entirely original. You know, someone's always going to come along and go, "Hey, I know of this thing that was published in 1689, and it's exactly what you talked about here." Like, I think what I'm about to do is probably going to be too much. I've not played The Last of Us, so I don't know how similar this will be to The Last of Us. I've watched the TV show, though I feel like I don't know how much the TV show didn't really explain a lot about what the fungus was. But I was just thinking about this. I don't know why I'm making this guy detailed. I don't know why he's a complete. This is a complete. We're never going to know about this guy. Why am I putting more detail into him? I've got a clue. I've not got a clue. But if this, I mean, he's unfortunately he is going to die in this scenario. So if you inhale the spore, I don't know why I've put that there. Wow. Oh well, there goes my career illustrating biology books. If a mushroom grew inside you, Yanni had a look at the Dawnmaker demo. What? Have we talked about Dawnmaker before? I don't know if I'm familiar with the title. Has my brain just forgotten that title? Dawnmaker. Oh, there's an airship. I am immediately more interested. I saw an airship. Oh, it's a city builder. I feel like they've drawn me in with an airship, and now I'm not seeing them anymore. I feel a little bit conned. So you build a city with the cards. Dawnmaker is a turn-based city-building deck-building game made by 2 strategy fans. It feels like playing a solo board game. Build luminous cities, optimize your deck, and create powerful combinations between buildings and cards to bring life back to the dead world. There is a demo. There is a demo. I feel like they've completely drawn me in with that airship, though, and I don't think that airship really plays much of a basis in the game. I feel like they've done me over with this airship. Curse them. Curse them. Build efficient cities. Make the best of your limited space by optimally positioning your buildings. Improve your lighthouse to repel the smog and expand your city. Okay. I've seen a couple of games like this out recently. In fact, I think I own one of them. I think I own a game that sounds like it might be similar. What was the one that I picked up recently? What was the one I picked up recently? It was called where is it? Where is it? I wonder if it's got a similarity. I wonder if it's got a similarity to Terrascape. Maybe it's got a similarity to that. Because yeah, city builders with deck building mechanics. I've seen one or two. I've seen one or two of those around recently. Thumbs, hello Thumbs. You've joined us towards the end. I'm gonna be wrapping up at 12 today because I've got to get some work out of the way. But I might try and have a longer stream tomorrow. Because by tomorrow I should have all my freelance work out of the way, and I won't have any until next week. So the rest of this week should be free of freelance work after today. So I might try and do some longer streams. Might do more of this kind of stuff. I might do more of just kind of like sketching out ideas without a set purpose. But yeah, okay, so if a person ate a spore, then the spore grows. Spore grows. And then you can have your... I know people want it. People want it, so sometimes I've got to give the people what they want, haven't I? I hope you, Thumbs, you are having a delightful bank holiday. Presuming you're actually getting some time off and you're not just on call. Ash, someone's had their ears lowered. I've not. I am not due. I am not due for a haircut. For another week. Right, I think it's next week. I've got a haircut. Unless you're just referring to yourself in the third person. And maybe the king shroom. Maybe what the king shroom is. So coming back to giving this thing a reason, is maybe this does have some kind of, because you know we can play into the idea, you know, that all the mycelium is connected. All the mycelium is connected, and so when these spores are inhaled, these spores, maybe these, I'll probably say these spores would be quite resilient. These spores would be quite resilient on the wind. And so they drift, you know, they drift into a town or something. And they get inhaled, and then they grow inside the person, and maybe almost like a bit of a parasite. Maybe as a bit of a parasite, they make the person like super hungry. So the person starts like eating more than they normally would. And that feeds the fungus. And the fungus grows, and eventually the fungus takes over the head and the brain. And then when it gets to that point, when it gets to the point where it's eaten enough, it it leaves wherever it was. What you know, if it was in a town or something, it leaves the town, and then it goes to wherever the king shroom is. And so the king shroom kind of uses this like this spore that takes over the bodies of things to essentially bring food to itself. And then when they get to the king, they just join with it. They join with it, and the nutrients feed the king. Maybe we'll go with something like that. But yeah, the fungus slowly kind of takes over the head. So there's slight hints of where maybe the shape of the head was in the past. But it mostly just kind of looks more like looks more like the stalk of a mushroom by the time it's totally taken over the body. So yeah, you'll become like ravenous, eating anything you can, not realizing that all you're doing is just fattening yourself up for the mushroom spore. And when the mushroom, when this thing is mature, that's when it can kind of sense through the mycelium network whether there is a king shroom. It can sense whether there's a king shroom, and it will go towards that king shroom. If it can't sense a king shroom, say like this has been killed by someone or something, if it can't sense them, then it becomes the next king shroom, and it'll go and try and find a suitable location to transform itself into the giant shroom. There you go. We always how many horror scenarios can I come up with? I feel like I'm delivering on horror type things at the moment. There we go. This is what people turn up for, obviously. And maybe because of the nature of how this thing works, like it'd be really difficult to deal with, because you wouldn't be able to. You'd struggle to get near it. You'd struggle to get near it because then you'd breathe in the spore. Like I think think this would be. I think that like the only way I feel like that you'd be able to deal with something like this would be burn down the forest. Like if you worked out that one of these existed, literally burn down the forest. Because that you wouldn't be like this. This is what I was saying before. Like this guy here, done for, absolutely screwed over. He's so close. He's breathing in spore. There's no way around that. That is exactly what is happening to him right now. Looking at like, it's like all the clothing. I'm thinking like all the clothing would be torn. Because this thing would have no, you know, it wouldn't care about clothing. Like this thing is not like a person anymore. This is just some fungus, like, you know, parasite controlled thing. Yeah, like if this was, say, like a quest, you know, if this was some kind of TTRPG type thing, like this is one of those things that I don't think there would be any way for you to be able to deal with it. And its the hands would be like, I'd still try and show like a little bit of the hands, but essentially the fingers. Now that we have a name for them, there you go. There you go. Now that we have a good name for them, the hands would have distorted and just become the I don't know if it's Hytha or Hythea based on the spelling. I'm not sure. At some point, we'll try and do some things that are cuter. I'm very aware that, like, you know, and this is obviously what you like, but I'm very conscious that, you know what, whenever Yana, whenever you talk to me about games, whenever you like make suggestions for games, you're like, doesn't this game look adorable? Isn't this game really cute? And here's me going, hey, have you thought about how we could turn this person into a horrible thing that's distended and disgusting? Yeah, Yana's probably looking at this going, can we not just have something a bit nicer? Can we just have something a bit more pleasant, please? I'll go back. I'll go back to gnomes at some point, just cute gnomes. $12 o'clock. Okay, it's 12 o'clock. It's 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock. So yeah, so like the fingers will get altered. The fingers will get altered into like really long tendrils that are touching the floor. They'll be touching the floor, and that's kind of like how it'll stay connected. How it'll stay connected with the ground. And it'll know what's going on. And we might put some more work into that tomorrow. Because why not? Why not? There's still more to do with that thing. Alfarius, good morning. Kawaii. I love that you put in brackets cute. I have said kawaii. I've said kawaii many times on this stream. A kawaii Skaven Dan. Max, how about an adorable mushroom so cute that you eat it and then all of this forget the spore. Forget the spore. It's just like the initial thing is just like I might do your Kawaii Dan tomorrow, Alfarius. Just because I was about to wrap up stream, so I might do your Kawaii Alpha Dan tomorrow. Just from the point of view of rather than me trying to rush it, so we got a little bit more time. So we got a little bit more time to do it and make it look better. There you go. We'll do. There's the kawaii version of this thing. There's the more kawaii version, and then once you've eaten that mushroom, then you start turning into this thing, which goes and joins this thing. If it makes you feel better, Dan will probably hate it. Alferis, why do you think I want to spend more time on it? Why do you think I don't want to rush it? That's what I don't want to rush it. I want to make sure that we're going to do a really kawaii. We're going to do a really kawaii Skaven Dan. It's going to be glorious. I might even practice it off stream just to make sure we get as much out of this as possible. This is doing low battery again. These do not last 6 hours. And it's gone off. And it's gone off now. These do not last 6 hours. I noticed this through the weekend. I tried these more through the weekend as well. How long has this stream been going? 3 hours. 3 hours. This stream has been going these last 3 hours. Like, I'm going to go so far as the description of these headphones says 6 hours, and I think they are saying 6 hours because there are two headphones. Exactly, yes. 3 hours times 2 ears, 6 hours. I think that is genuinely what they've done on the description. But I was keeping track of these through the weekend as well, and it's been 3 hours every time. But yeah. Got these things. They seem good. Wireless earbuds. Oh, but are they? Do they actually go in your ear? So part of the reason why I like these is because they have a hook. I don't know how well you'll see it on camera, but they've got a hook around your ear, and then there's not actually anything that goes in your ear. So I kind of like these because they don't go in my ear. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna put. I think I'm gonna put a review on these. I think I'm gonna do a review of these because the thing that's a shame is they're absolutely fine. Like the sound quality is fine on them. It's all good, but the time is not what was advertised. Anyway, right. So I will leave your 15-minute sketch in place. I will not redeem it, so it's there waiting, and we will do a Kawaii Skaven Dan tomorrow. Would it be a Skaven Dansan? Skaven Dansan? Or would it be, do we need to get Senpai in there somewhere, don't we? We need to get like Kawaii Skaven Dan potentially saying Senpai. Notice me Senpai. Maybe we can turn this into some kind of like a sticker, Alfarius. Maybe we can have like a Kawaii Skaven Dan with just like a heading over it saying Notice me Senpai. Maybe if we go down that route. It's going to be more than a 15-minute sketch, but that's okay because it'll probably be funny. Anyway, right, yeah. So I need to. Unfortunately, I do need to finish the stream today because I've got some bits that have got to be done before the person who I'm doing them for goes on holiday. So I've got to get some bits done this afternoon. If anyone's got any suggestions, I tell you what. Just before we do wrap up, if anyone's got any suggestions on ones, even if they're in ear, I'd rather know they exist. Essentially what I want is some wireless headphones that will last an entire stream. That's what I'm after. I knew I was kind of pushing it with these ones only being 6 hours anyway, but I also kind of wanted just to try them because a lot of my streams are, under 6 hours. It's only really the Friday one that they wouldn't work for. But if you've got any suggestions, throw them on the Discord. Like, if there's an Amazon link, that would be amazing, because that just makes my life easier. But throw them on the Discord. I've changed the gaming room to it's now gaming software and hardware, just because somewhere for it to put them. But yeah, anyway, right. So I gotta go. Back tomorrow. I will possibly try and do a longer stream tomorrow. Maybe do one till say maybe 2 o'clock or something. Just as because the rest of this week should be clear. Just before I wrap up stream, there is the community challenge started today. You should see it at the top of chat. If you don't see it at the top of chat, click on your mushrooms at the bottom of chat. That will open up the community forfeit goal. You get to put in 2,000 points per stream. So if you do want to contribute to it, make sure you contribute to today's, and then you'll be able to contribute tomorrow as well. So I'll give you a couple of minutes if anyone wants to do their channel points to the forfeit game stream. We're doing the forfeit game stream because we've absolutely smashed it out the park with the Kofi goal. So much so, the Kofi goal, I might actually have to do 2 gnomes this month. Because we're really close. We're really close to having hit the gnome goal twice. And depending... When's the next one? We've just had one go through, I think. Yeah, okay, so those... Because at the moment, the Kofi goal... Actually, sorry, you can see it at the top of the screen, can't you? It's 192% the Kofi goal. I think 8% is £12, I think. So depending on what happens, and so I'll leave that. So that's running till the end of the month. So we got the rest of this week. Because 150. Wait, 150 divided by 100 is £1.50, and that's saying 8% before we hit 200%. So surely that should just be times 8, and that is 12. If my maths are correct, And I'm pretty sure they are, because that's pretty simple maths. That might mean that I have to do 2 gnome giveaways at the start of September. So we'll see. We'll see. Maths seem sound. Yeah, maths seem sound. So we'll see how that goes. But at minimum, we're doing at least 1 gnome giveaway. I might just do 2 anyway, because it's been such a good month. I might just do 2 anyway, regardless of the bit that's left. Right, okay, cool. Cosmic Bunny. Hello, Cosmic Bunny. I think that gives everyone a bit of time. That's given everyone a bit of time to do the channel point contributions. And then we'll do a forfeit thingy later on, and that's all good and fun. Shall I... Let's hand you off to Boreas. Boreas is streaming. I can't hear anything, because these have stopped working now. But let's hand you off to Boreas, who I think he's doing RimWorld right now. But I don't feel like we've raided him for a bit, so let's get that started. No, I don't want to collaborate. Stop making me try to collaborate. Just want to do a raid. Thank you. Thank you, please. Let's get that started. Do 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 do. Do you know what I dislike about this? I dislike this. I dislike how this system works. I'm not a fan. No, stop telling me to collaborate. I just want to raid. Oh no, wait, the raid start. Oh, but it's gone off screen. I think we're still here. I'm pretty sure we're still here. Pretty sure we've not got anywhere yet, but it's not allowing me to have a raid button anymore. So we'll just have to hope for the best. Get rid of that. Right, sweet. Anyway, okay, I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow, more of this stuff. We're just doing some little sketches, throwing out some ideas at the moment. I'm kind of going with whatever inspiration I have right now. Thursday, same with this again, and then Friday we're going to have to play a game. So I'll figure out whatever game we're going to play. If you've been here, thank you very much. If you've dug it, chat, thank you even more. I've told you where I'll be. Whatever you choose to do with the rest of your day, I hope you have a fantastic time. And until I next see you, until then, goodbye.